Welcome
All
in.
right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Empress playoffs once again. It's time for the upper bracket finals. My name is Alligator, and I have the one and only, the wonderful Mint Stick to bring you all the action today. How are you doing, my friend?
Very good today. It's been absolutely so rainy in Indianapolis, so I'm so excited to have something to finally look forward to. How are you feeling about this matchup today?
I am thrilled, let me tell you. I thought we were doing the lower bracket first. I have had a bit of a messy day, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting some high quality action between the top two seeds of our playoffs. Five Guys versus Razyngan. We've got our maps. I always say maps and I am too Overwatch brained. This is Valorant. We've got our maps, we've got our sides over there at the bottom of the screen. Split, picked by Five Guys, Ascent, picked by Razyngan, and the decider, Lotus, which we have seen a lot of lately. Mint, what do you think we might see from these maps? Because Ascent we've seen a bit of recently since it was reintroduced to the map pool. Lotus we've seen a lot as a decider. So much. What kind of agents, comps, strengths, weaknesses might we have to look at?
I think we have a lot that we can look out here. For on the side of Zin, you never know what they're coming into a game. If you go through every single map that they have played so far this season, they have a different composition on the same map every single time. They keep their opponents on their feet, and that might be why they are the number one seed in their group and how they've are. They beat out Glorp and Infinite Zero to get here. Two very strong teams, the two teams in the lower bracket. So for the side of them, honestly, it's up in the air. They play everything and anything. But I am very happy that they did ban that Haven. If they had let Five Guys run away with that Haven, it would have been wraps. Five Guys is currently 5-0 on Haven, absolutely dominating. So very glad we won't be seeing the Haven, because I think it might be a little bit of a stomp if we were to see it. So very happy that our first map today is Split, because it's usually not one you have for your first map.
Yeah, well, I can tell you the only other Five Guys game I've casted these playoffs, it was against Glorp Academy. And what I'm looking at is the exact same series setup. Split picked by them, Ascent picked by their opponent, and Lotus picked as the decider. Now, it was against Glorp Academy, who is unfortunately no longer with us in the playoffs, but they did go to 3 maps. It was 13-9 on Split for Five Guys. It was oh, my notes are wrong here. It should be 13. For Glorp Academy, I believe it's 13-9 in Ascent, and then 13-11 for Five Guys on Lotus. So we know they're the number one team for a reason. They went 7-0 in the group stage, undefeated. They've kind of been cruising. I wouldn't say are underdogs per se. They are the number 2 seed. They have been doing amazing as well, and they also went 7-0. You know, this is less of a David versus Goliath and more of a Clash of the Titans situation, I dare say. I would not be surprised at all if we saw maps going the distance, 13-11s, 14-12s, multiple overtimes. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to 3. This has all the makings of one of the best games of the entire playoffs, if not the best game. And last time we casted, both Chains and myself thought this is the exact same matchup that we are going to see in the grand final. And I think we had good reason for that. Now, Mint, I know it is still very early to talk about how maps might go, but we know Split and Ascent are traditionally more defense-sided. Lotus, maybe more attacker favored. Do you think that is going to influence the way these two teams play? Because lately we've been seeing a lot of teams choosing the non-favored side to start the match. Do you think there's some strategy? Team as Five Guys.
Definitely from
What
Zin.
might we see?
they picked the attack side because they think that that's their strongest side, and they wouldn't have picked it otherwise. So whatever they have cooked up to show their dominance on this attack side, it's gonna have to be sorry, yep, on this attack side, it's gonna have to be crazy because currently Five Guys are 3-0 on split. This has been a map they've been very good at, and unfortunately Zin 1-1, so they'd have 50% win rate so far. So they are a little bit unfavored in the win rate. They don't have as much experience on it, but could still very much come out on top if they're able to run these amazing attack strategies, because they're going to need them if they want to close out on the defensive side, because it can really run away from you if you don't have that strong attack. And as we head into map agent select, we're gonna have 5 harbors, and I'm very excited about that. Agent roulette, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, Five Guys, last time we saw them on broadcast, I believe, were hovering all 5 neons. That was the week that she was banned. As a sort of protest, they just went on and went all neon before they went back to their normal roles. On the other side, I think we're seeing something interesting, not very traditional. The double duel is running a Jet and a Raze. Raze, a staple of Split, has been there since the beginning of time. Omen as well, Cypher. Fade is a bit peculiar, and Jet, I think, is the most surprising thing, especially now that Neon is back in the game. We've seen other agents also claim their spots in the meta, like Waylay. Jet is an agent that we see in some maps. I don't want to say she's in Yoru jail, for example, but still kind of interesting. How do you think this might play out with both the Jet and the Raze capable of running the entry?
I think Jet and Raze have been the dynamic duo for the longest time. Teams who are able to pull this off are met with success every single time. We have seen, like you said, that Waylay, that Neon, even that Yoru come in and kind of disrupt. And we've seen a lot of Phoenix, actually. I'm actually surprised neither team has picked Phoenix. I believe the last time Zen played this map, they did pull out that Phoenix, so they now have switched back to that Raze Jet. And when you have that Raze Jet, you have those satchels, you have the dash, you have 2 of those piece of utilities that you can just dash out fast on site. The only problem I'm seeing here is they don't have a lot of that utility to kind of help with those site pushes on the side of Zin. They have the Paranoia, and they have the Prowler, and they have the Haunt, and other than that, they don't have a lot of flash, they don't have a lot of firepower, and not a lot to really back up those fast hits with that Jet and that Neon. On the other side, with that Waylay, you have that Skydog, you have the Guiding Light with the flash, you have the Paranoia, you have all of that utility to set up your Waylay and Raze, although I still think it is also a little bit weak.
And something that I can't believe I didn't see at first, no Viper for the side of Razyngan. This is almost unheard of in Split. This is one of the most common heroes in the entirety of the history of this map. I believe the only time when Viper wasn't played was maybe back in the Astra meta. We already have 2 picks trading back and forth. And this is kind of what I expected of the side of Razyngan. They've got 2 duelists. They've got that Omen, Paranoia, that flash, line, whatever you want to call it. They want to go fast. If they get stalled by the Viper Molly, if they get stalled by the orbs, the walls, they are going to be in serious trouble. Now the retake coming in, dropping in from heaven, but Catty Kid is good for 3 for the moment. Will the nade find another pushing so deep? No, it's going to be the classic headshot from Dark Matter, but as the last member alive, this should be a clean round closeout for Razyngan. They're able to get it done so fast on the offense.
That wrap position in that corner there, oh, we're going to get a replay of it, is so well not cleared at all. You see that Kaori kind of thinks that they cleared it, but didn't fully. That really set up for that 3K. And unfortunately, Katie Cat did nade themselves, but those kills were able to set up the team to fully take control of that site. And after that, it was just wraps. So great job and hold from Katie Cat there.
That's exactly what you want to see from your pistol round, starting on the theoretically weaker side, but with a comp built for the offense. Now, 5 Spectres, 5 heavy shields. That's not something that we see very often. complete non-investment from the side of Five Guys. If you take a look at the minimap, they're going so fast out of mid. Rez is able to take down one, so that is a trade that they do want to take. Plant goes down. Now they want to make sure that they keep as many members alive as possible.
Great push out there from mid. They were able to claim a gun, so they do have a little bit of firepower going into this next fight. But those steps are all going to be heard as now it's Katie Kit. Fight them all. Two for Katie Kit. They're in the flank position. Does finally get taken out, but when you don't have the bodies with you, it gets infinitely harder. Oh, and unfortunately, Dark Matter thought they got that kill onto Zombie there. Wasn't enough. Razyngan are going to get that second map, second round. Very good. And they are able to keep some of their guns, but we will see Katie Kit buying into that Phantom. Showstopper already online.
Yeah, and that is crucial, right? The 3K in the first round, in the pistol round, plus dying, plus other kills found here and other deaths. That's easy. 5 kills, 2 deaths, orbs. That is so fast to build up one of the strongest ultimates in the entire game, in the entire map. We've got the flash to confirm presence right out here of B main. That is a lot of presence. That's a problem with playing Sky, right? You don't know how many players are there. It's actually only 2. Cypher tucked in, maybe looking towards mid, and some exploration may be happening towards A main, but you still, Catty Kit, that Stinger, very, very careful. Want to overstep, might want to save Showstopper for the next round. You know that you are at a huge disadvantage here. Second round, you try to gather some information, but that's kind of the problem that you were mentioning, right? You've already got the fade. Once the haunt is gone, you've got to wait 60 whole seconds until it's back. Those initiator buffs still haven't come through. Now, there is a dog right out of A main, and that is a lot of space that Five Guys know has not been taken by Razyngan. So the rotates, take a look at the minimap, are going to start coming in, whereas the hit is still not here. 30 seconds remaining in the round. We've had some pretty memorable time moments on this site. Will it be yet another one here? Catty Kid already getting one. This could be a spot to pop the showstopper if this boombot finds something with the C's as well. That could have been dangerous. Juicy is going to find one now. FP Shadow on the retake, but the SMGs are going to be good for one. And there it is. Razyngan all of a sudden find all the kills that they needed and are able to come away with rifles.
Beautiful hold of that site. They're really playing out the time, making Five Guys nervous. Five Guys doesn't know what's going on, you know? They don't know what side they're gonna hit because there's virtually no info off of that dog they had. They did start to rotate, but you saw the second guessing. They went back to A. Dark Matter left, and that left the site almost completely open. And Chopsticks just peeking out alone on that angle, immediately got isolated, set the team up to get the guns. Oh, and an early fight towards A main is gonna net 2 for Zin, and immediately now you're down 2 players, you don't have the guns, and it's starting to look a little bleak now.
That is not the way you want to start a round where you are at a gun disadvantage. We said the defense might be the favorite side, but with this absolute death ball of a comp that Razyngan are running, tables could turn oh so fast. Now stranded over to the A side. I don't really see any weapons that could be worth saving them. I just wait for this plant to go down, get confirmation of what's going on around the map. You take a look, Catty Kid already going so deep, trying to farm any orbs, not really going to get any ultimates online. It's already there. The showstopper gonna net 2. That's gonna be 3 in the round before getting taken down by Kaori, which gets 2. Still at full HP, could recover a rifle here. This could be dangerous. There it is, the Phantom, but not gonna be good enough. The Vandal puts an end to it. 4 rounds on the bounds already for Razyngan. Is this getting out of hand for Five Guys?
It might be, but now we're going into their first buy round, and this push from Katie Kit was totally unexpected, but I do wish they had a little bit more firepower behind them. You mentioned the orbs. Katie Kit didn't need the orbs at all. I do wish that maybe Jersey or Rez had scaled up with them to get those orbs. so that they could capitalize off of their ults and get their ults faster. But regardless, a beautiful push there. And we're just kind of seeing Five Guys slip a little bit so far. But now, as we go into this next round with these guns off of this timeout, what do you think they might be changing on this defensive side to kind of bring it back?
For me, it feels like fundamentally they don't know what's going on, and I know that's a very harsh thing to say, but their reads on the map have just not been the right ones. And I was gonna say, if they don't call a timeout this round, it's gonna be next round. You lose 5 in a row, almost pretty much the entire half is gone, right? If you lose 5, yes, you can technically still have the lead at the half, but it is going to be exponentially harder to do that. Now you've got guns, you've got an operator now in the hands of Kaori. This is some serious firepower if you can be good with it. Problem, like we said, we're talking about the reads. It is a 5-man push off of the entrance of B main. Unless this is a collat, if Kaori dies here, this is dire straits for Five Guys. There is going to be a flash, and the C's, look at that, just barely able to hide around the corner. Gonna have to dash away. Caddy Kid still able to find one, and that is the operator completely neutralized. The showstopper flies out. We hear that in the background, but again, Zombie on the lurk. Now you've got the neural theft uploaded. Positions are revealed. Katie, crucial pick in mid, but maybe the save already being called. You see Kaori and Chopsticks starting to retreat, trying to make sure that operator stays safe. Katie already on light shields, cannot afford to lose the Phantom. This is a disaster out of the timeout for Five Guys.
Definitely did not go the way they thought it was. I did like the idea they had that guiding light into B main, but Razyngan had such a good use of utility to really get the operator off the angle. They had the C's and they were able to get that pick onto Dark Matter off of the C's, and then they had the Paranoia, then they had the Prowler. Such an amazing job at hitting that operator off the angle with utility, and we can definitely see why they chose this attack side. They're able to combo their utility so well together that we really see why the attack side is flourishing for them, because they're able to push people off these angles. They're able to clear sight so quickly. And I think that is also somewhere where Razyngan is struggling. When they're doing these retakes, they're not fully clearing these angles, and it's been their detriment so far. So now we go into a round where, look at this buy. Such a rough buy for Five Guys here.
This is not what you want to see. You gotta pray that the operator is good for it. You do have some ultimates online. You've got the Seekers. That's gonna be a lot of information. You've got the Convergent Paths, good for stall. From the Shadows, the reposition, maybe not as strong. 2 away from the Showstopper. If FP Shadow can have a big round, maybe a pick here, be just what they need to turn this game around. On the other side, Nightfall is 1 away, but that is pretty much the only thing on the table. Both Neural Theft and Showstopper we were used in previous round, and Katie with their pants down. That Omen should get the kill every single time. Now Zombie has been so good with the lurks up mid. What will the timing bring? Like Dark Matter and Zombie will not collide for now. Razyngan are bring up for a hit, where B is stacked site. This goes down here. That is going to be a lot of utility available for them. And there it is. Shot in the back, but all the team is on side. Catty Kid and Life are going to combine for 2. Jersey contributes with a 3rd one. And before the spike even goes down, that is 6-0. A guaranteed tie at the half, at least for Razyngan.
Yeah, Five Guys really seem to be struggling so far on this defense side, and that might have been something that during VOD review, maybe Razyngan was able to decipher that, hey, their defense side is pretty weak. Let's just capitalize on that with the attack side to really make it happen. And beautiful job from them. I know I said that they don't have a lot of utility to help go onto site, but that hasn't even been an issue so far. They have been just steamrolling through this defensive setup, and I'd really like to see Five Guys switch it up, maybe an aggressive push down mid, down A, just anywhere. I wish we would see a little bit change of pace from Five Guys, because what we're seeing right now is not working.
You can say that again. It is not working at all. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We are seeing maybe one of the performances for the ages. Very good thing to hear if you are one team. Very bad thing to hear if you're the other. Now, Kaori, what will the timing be? Will he catch one? No! The shots are not hitting. It's not just the reads in the map. It is the aim that is
No.
failing the side of 5 guys. And now the paranoia. It does combine for 2. Katie from the shadows. Might use just, yeah, that ultimate. But indeed, the Omen from Dark Place coming and getting the kills. The Seekers now hit life. Will they capitalize on it? No! Happy Shadow doesn't turn around to the right side. The Seas doesn't get anything. Katie, the Omen, unscouted from heaven. Finally taken down. No, that is actually Dark Matter. And now Katie on for the clutch A's. Will they be able to get it done? Tap of the spike around the corner. No! Ring around the rosy. 7th round for Razyngan.
Katie doing everything for their team, getting 4 kills, almost a 5th to win the round. And it just wasn't enough, fighting for their life. And again, that fight onto heaven, you had a fully blind character there. And again, we didn't properly clear our angles, and 5 guys lost a member because of that. They lost one of their bodies that could have won them that round. And it's very interesting to see a team, the #1 team, probably the one who was favored to win by a lot of people, make these sloppy mistakes like this. To see an early push out towards B. Again, this 5-man death ball has been deadly so far, and when you're going against only a Marshall, yeah, Kaori smart, just get out of there.
Getting out of there, but the danger is still around. Site is surrounded. The problem is the weaponry. Like plant tapped. Not gonna be consummated. Conversion path's actually invested, but Kaori is met with a headshot to the face. Katie making good on that Phantom. FP Shadow maybe trying to find something, but as his team crumbles around them, that is going to be another round for Razyngan. If there is an answer, it is in the wrong book that 5 guys are reading.
They got to pick up a different book here, and they're gonna consult their book here as they go on this timeout. They're going to look through all their plays, figure out what's going wrong. Again, just round after round after round, they can't seem to find their timings. These retakes haven't netted anything good. Their retakes have been very sloppy. They haven't been playing together, and I think that could be solved a lot. We see a lot of solo plays here. I would love to see a little bit more teamwork here from 5 guys, because I think that's what we're missing here. And a great job to Katie Kit as well. When you're 16-6, it's so hard to play against a player who can just one tap you whenever they can. Look, already only one away from that showstopper, which has been so far been deadly in the hands of Katie Kit.
It's not just the retakes. I so dearly wish it were only the retakes, but also the starts to the rounds are being absolutely atrocious. You said it. If you are playing at a disadvantage every single time, there is no way you can win. I always say it. Hero plays are fine for a one-off, maybe 2 rounds, 3 rounds if you want to get wild, but you can't consistently rely on hero plays because they're called hero plays for a reason. You don't expect a miracle every single day of your life. You want a miracle when everything is at its most desperate, but you need to have a plan for the rest of the time. Guiding Light does net a tag, so they know there is presence here. Now confirmed visually by Dark Matter and Kaori. He's going to be good for 1. The combo is good for 2. The Hunt is going to reveal the duelist of 5 guys. I do believe that might be the first round where we've seen them have a numerical advantage. Now the lurk down mid here from Zombie has been such a thorn in their side for so many rounds, has been spotted as well, so they know the positioning of this player at least to some extent. Spike perhaps make way. B quiet on the map right now. Scouting mission from the Omen, from the Shadows life. Spotted, and that does hold the rotate, but Katie is going to find their Omen counterpart. Rez now good for 1. Do they know where the other one is? Paranoia gonna be evaded, but Rez on 16 HP running all the way over to the A side through vents. Zombie has been confirmed in terms of presence. There it is, 2 guiding lights to the face. Still, the wall bang is going to be good, and the headshot as well. Now, it is a 2v2, but only momentarily because Rez goes down, backstabbed by Kiori, and on 7 HP with 13 seconds to go, counting down the spike stranded. I do believe we are going to see the first round going the way of Five Guys.
Much needed. Once you get a 10 up to 10 and a half, it's so hard morally to come back from that. And that first fight in A main was beautiful there. They were able to get those 2 isolated kills, peeking off of each other. Great teamwork there, and they were able to fall off. And I like how after we got those first 2 kills, we didn't overextend. We stayed in our lane. We stayed together. You saw how well they were playing together in that B heaven position. They were playing together so well, and they didn't overextend. And I firmly believe that is why they were able to win that round. So now we're going to see a little bit of an A side push here. Viper's Pit coming out early. But we still have... Oh, and it's already taken out of the game. Kit just unstoppable so far. And with that showstopper in their hands, oh, it's looking deadly for Five Guys.
Unstoppable is the word for it. Kit has been a force of nature. Completely impossible to stop this duelist now with a showstopper in their back pocket. Now Jersey is actually going to get them to line up. Life with another one in heaven. Only FP Shadow is raised. Has been indeed getting shadowed by their counterpart. Gonna get one onto Zombie. Gonna find the second onto Live. But who else but Kit to confirm it. 1-2-9 is the scoreline. Firmly in control.
Razyngan really just unstoppable this half. You would expect it to be closer. These are 2 very good teams, but really running away so far. And we even saw from the shadows from Katie coming out, and I just don't think they had their gun out in time to take that fight against Jersey. Able to get the collat there. Beautiful job. And again, they're switching it up. They're going back to this B site where there's only 1 player. Five Guys choosing to pursue, push out of the wrong side, but that's going to give them all the information they need that they need to get their butts right back to B. Armageddon is coming.
There's a showstopper, Katie, maybe with a classic right click, but no, the Prowler is going to get in the way. Chopstick's going to be good for one with a rifle. Kiori elsewhere as well, good, but site has been taken. Press one closer to the Nightfall. If they're going to be able to find it in this round, not the best weapons available for the retake. Five Guys is feel the position of Kid taken down with a Vandal upgrade now. Spectre in the back pocket, but do they know about the backstab? Rez gonna be good for one, gonna be good for the second. That is a 10-1, potentially just 2 rounds away when we change the half for Razyngan to claim map 1.
A combined 16 HP at the end of the round, by the way. Rez had 9 and Kit had 7, and just not watching their back there. They have the HP advantage there. Just 1 shot to each of them, they would have had it, and unfortunately just not watching their back there was their detriment. So going in this last round, we do have the Seekers for Five Guys that could net them, especially if we pull them immediately off the round. We could see some magic here. Oh, but it's already taken out. It's Jersey, beautiful shot, and now it's Katie alone. Nightfall coming out. Finally is able to isolate one, but easily gets taken down, and that's the site for Razyngan almost immediately. It's only a minute 20 into the round.
That's just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. First, you lose the Seekers from Dark Matter within, what, like half a second? Then Katie whiffs on the Phantom Spray. Maybe if you take down Kid instantly, you can find some of the follow-up, but when the team is already getting into sight and you still haven't killed the first entry, there's not much you're going to be able to do. Now flooding back in, but are they aware of Jersey's positioning? This Jet has been so good for it. Rez going to confirm it. That is indeed 1-11. Razyngan move over to the defense.
Unfortunate there. One of their players fell right here to Jersey backside, and Ori just not looking to get that trade, still focused on main. The players just fell like flies, and a great job to Kit so far, 19 and 8 in the half, so dominant. You're looking at the score line, 11-1. You can't help if you're Five Guys. You can't help but to feel a little bit of sorrow in your heart. You've the whole round, whole half, the whole map just run away from you, and now you're going on the attack side, the weaker side of the map. And what are you gonna do? You're going right into this death ball. Look at all this util they have set up.
And we've got to remember, this is Five Guys' map pick. Rez already with a kill. The grenade is going to get Catty Kid. That raise on raise violence is going to favor the attackers. Positioning is dire. The haunt had not been invested previously and is not going to get broken. What are we doing? Five Guys, or like, I don't even know what to say. That is how bad not breaking the haunt is. It leaves me speechless. And people who know me know I never, ever shut up. This is technically even in terms of numbers, but it does not feel like it. Wherever Five Guys go, they will find Razyngan members. The corner is clear, though. That's a heads-up play from FP Shadow, and now Jersey is low, has to retreat. The smoke is going to be good to cover for one, but Rez is good suddenly for two. In vents, that should never happen. And now running over back to A, we are Kaori. Spike in hand. Plant open for Heaven, but Heaven control is going to be relinquished. So maybe slightly questionable position. Still have the numbers advantage. Full weaponry.
Jersey just so low on that HP. Look at that 34. This is very much winnable. This pistol round could be the switch that we needed to. Did you say blood? Could be the switch that we need to really bring Five Guys back. And this, now the time is ticking ever so further. Position noted, and tries to take this one-on-one fight. 4 HP, and the time is not enough. And Katie finally takes down Jersey. This is a second for Five Guys. This needs to be the start of their comeback, or we might be seeing a clean sweep from Razyngan.
I can tell you, the voices in my head are having quite a bit of fun. They will not stop chuckling. They sound like the Joker at times, but it is not a joke what we have in the server. Five Guys have to take this very seriously. And at times, I want to say, it doesn't look like Five Guys. It looks like Kaori and friends, or Katie and friends. And while it is good to have a star player, we're seeing it in the hands of Catty Kid, almost at 20 kills already in just 13 rounds. It is not good, like we said before, to have to rely on one person's pop off. Now, it is 5 classics. This should be a clear gun advantage for Five Guys. They've got an Outlaw, they've got a couple Bulldogs, they've got a couple Spectres. They want to lose as few members as possible. They want to bring as many weapons, as many rifles, especially, into the next round as possible. Trailblazer isn't going to note from Zombie. That Cypher Lurk has bit them in the back so many times. Will it be another one? FP Shadow starting to get chunked down, but turns around and hits a headshot. Katie as well in the flank, taking down Rez. Dark Matter combines for another one. Catty Kid, do they have the flank? Yes, but they do not have the weaponry. Chopsticks might make it a flawless round here if they are able to take down Life.
Great take from them, taking that mid space simultaneously as they descend upon the B site. Great job from them. They're ever so patient, waiting for Razyngan to make a mistake. And oh, there's one mistake right there, but easily gets traded out by FP Shadow. Now we're up to 3, and they're taking 4 guns into this next round. Almost best case scenario, as now look at the weaponry they're going against. They're going against full rifles, but they still have really good guns on the side of Five Guys, and you're only 3 away from that showstopper. This could be what Five Guys need, as long as they don't stumble right here when Razyngan is right at the finish line.
And you'll notice Zombie did not have enough money to buy full shield, so that Outlaw might still be good for a one-shot kill. Now, beautiful blind play. FP Shadow gets a raised counterpart, but taken down by Rez. The weapon's disadvantage. Now, only 19 HP, but Rez is good for the double. Those body shots still count. It doesn't have to be headshots only. Ranked teammates could learn a thing or two before flaming me. I am a body shot machine, but that's a conversation for another moment. 5 guys now playing at a numbers disadvantage. KT, though, gonna find one in the lurk. Rez was oh so low. Goes to the body, will do that to you now. Do they know that the B site is empty? They have an inkling. Rotates through. You can see life pivoting through the defender spawn, and now as that tripwire is broken in mid, all 3 members of Zin are going to be waiting for all 3 members of 5 guys. This is head-on confrontation. There's a paranoia available here for life on contact. No, actually just gonna go for the headshot. Chopsticks, though, takes them down. Could have been a 2-tap. That outlaw that we're talking about. They're going to be able to be aware of Jury's positioning. Yes, they are. Of course, they are. They're so smart. The 4th round in the cards for them. Zombie not fighting up against the outlaw anymore. They're getting blocked by that smoke, and Chopsticks finishes it off. That is a good round from 5 guys.
Great bonus round, able to upgrade those guns. I almost thought they lost their timing there. The B site was completely free, like you mentioned, and they just took so long to capitalize off of it. I almost thought that it was going to work against them, but I think that it actually worked in their favor. They were able to isolate the 1v1 so much better because they waited. They were able to, they were able to get that pick up in heaven. They were able to get the pick into CT, and then finally it was just that 1v1 against Zombie. And what is happening? The beautiful, beautiful isolation of those 1v1s.
Oh, goodness gracious, excuse me. It is chaos all around the map. Seemingly chaos inside my body as well. Katie able to come out on top of the fight, not unscathed. Try to keep my cough at bay, at least for the duration of this round. Have to let the tension out, but that will not be the case for these players. They have to be on their toes. They have to be aware, and Kaori is ultra aware. Gets that headshot instantly as soon as Zombie peeks, and now there it is. Jersey gonna be caught in transition. 3 versus 2 gun advantage for 5 guys. This should be 5th round for them, 4th in a row for the half. Very, very surprised if Razyngan are able to claim map point here.
Did a great job. Zin trying to make it a little bit happen. We see that we had a push out of B, but the kill there was easily recognized, easily taken out. And now you're looking to probably die to the spike here. You don't want to give them any more orbs, especially when you're 2 away from the convergent pass, 3 away from those seekers. Oh, now you're only 1 away from that convergent path, so they are going to give up those orbs. But 5 guys finally finding their footing here. This attack side was what they needed to really get their head back in the game. 4 gone unanswered so far. They're finally fighting back. They are not allowing Razyngan to beat down on them anymore. I think Chopsticks putting his feet down. He's not ready to let go yet.
And you mentioned both the convergent paths and the seekers. Guess which 2 people got those last 2 kills in the round? One to Kaori, one to Dark Matter. Like you said, you got the showstopper online, ready to push here. This could be a multi-kill. It is only going to net 1. It could have netted up to 3. Now the head is going to be there. Spotted FP Shadow and Kaori. This duo, so deadly. It seemed like 5 guys lost around the map in the defense. Might be a different story now. Running laps, running loops, running I don't even know what, but driving Razyngan absolutely crazy.
Razyngan looking to save. KDK has that operator, and they're not doing very good financially. This was the round where they finally had those guns back. They were finally going to make a stand. They weren't able to make that happen. That showstopper from FP Shadow doing wonders, able to get the 2nd pick. The position was known, so Jersey going to be rewarded for their patience with 1 and going to back off. So that is going to make it a little bit more expensive for 5 guys, but that's not an issue for them. I would like to say they're like Scrooge. They are very rich and they don't know what to do with all their money. And now it's 6-11. 5 rounds gone unanswered, and this is suddenly becoming so much more doable for Five Guys. I might admit I was losing a little bit of faith there, but Five Guys have restored my faith today.
This is their map pick for a reason. They are showing us side of them that we had not seen previously. Crucially, though, for Zin, they are able to save the operator in the hands of Caddy Kit. We mentioned a few rounds back that they were almost on 20 kills. I believe they might have not gotten a singular kill in the entirety of the second half. That is not right time for your star duelist to go quiet. Now, some healing resource invested here to bring FP Shadow pretty much back to full health. Point away from reaching that mark. Consequentially, if you are met with a shot from the boomstick, or so, head. But
What's a boomstick?
operator still. It is the operator.
Oh!
It is the strongest weapon in the entire game, unless your name is Jersey, in which case you can shoot through a wall and still get the headshot. And there it is, FP Shadow taken down. Raiders still hanging around heaven. There it is. They hear it ring. They know it's online. They know it's active. Going to do everything in their power to avoid a Jersey. Well, for a second there, teammate. Now, an Omen smoke to progress. And there it is. Kaori, beautiful coordination between the Omen and the Waylay. Snakebite deny the entry here.
Spike planted.
Green's side. Does it Caddy Kit for a second. Now, this is the ideal position the operating from at the beginning of the round. Ring around the Rosie side and out of the Omen smoke. The line, but unaware of where these players might be. Still could be a thorn in the side. Kaori and indeed does take down zombie conversion paths now available should they wish to invest them. I do not believe that will be necessary. Nightfall as well. Online Seekers do go out, and there it is in the blink of an eye. We see 3 kills go down for Five Guys. 7-11. 6 on the bounce for them.
That boomstick you mentioned, that operator not finding any value in that round. Many shots rattled off, but unfortunately they all went wide or they all missed. And now look how broke Razyngan are after that round. Such a hard round for them. And like you said, got to get really slowing down on this half, struggling to find their footing. An attack-sided raise, but it's just 1 kill to get you back into it. 1 kill to pull you across that finish line. You're only 2 rounds away, and to stumble this close. Now, Five Guys has the momentum on their side, and it's Kaori again to get that first pick. And it's just slipping now from Razyngan as they really have lost their momentum.
If the story of the first half was Caddy Kit on the raise, the story of the second has been Kaori on the Waylay. We were talking about the difference maybe that you're going to find between the Jet and the Waylay, and that is exactly it. Life is going to run and gun down FP Shadow, but this Sheriff is not going to stay alive for much longer. Jersey brings one back, but Katie, always consistent, the pillar, the backbone of Five Guys. That could very well be called Katie and Friends. That it is going to be a team effort. Get this spike all the way over to A through the defender spawn. The roles have flipped. Rez is effectively attacking into this A site. And for a moment, it is only Chopsticks caught in rotation. Where's the trigger discipline? There it is. How fast can Kaori get here? Will their presence be noted? It is not full HP, but the tags are there, and Kaori is good for it, of course. They are. This Waylay is unstoppable. Take a look at that scoreboard. Not even crossing the 20 kill mark yet. I could have sworn they were at 30 already.
Just this half has been so dominant for Kaori. And look at this huge ult cycle we have going on. We have 7 ultimates on the board. We have a gun versus gun round coming up. I imagine that this is going to be the round of ultimates, and whoever can strategize on these ultimates better is the one who's going to come out on top. Now we're going to see this fight come out to mid.
Oh, that is a lot of presence. Zombie coming out on top. There has been a TP into the back. Is life going to be aware? No, Dark Matter clears it. So numbers are back on full footing. Trailblazer right there is going to reveal Zombie turning presence into male. The convergent path's gone. Now Yuri being felled, but there is still a Viper Spit. This is such a powerful ultimate for a post plant, and Razyngan have no equivalent. They do have almost a showstopper, which is very good for clearing it. They do have a neural theft if they find the kills, and a nightfall that can ping opponents. So they do have a lot of answers for the Viper Spit, even if they don't have one of their own. Now they know FP Shadow is, at least has tried to go up into ramp. Etiquette. Right here, we said one off the showstopper. Will he pop it instantly? Is actually going to find 3. How? The collat and the kill through screen. And what seemed like maybe 5 guys had a chance is actually going to be Razyngan with an almost flawless round. Put themselves on map point. Unless Katie can do something, but presence has been noted, and now the camera with the darts. This surely has to be Raps. Zombie taken down, but the backstab is good. 12 on the board for Razyngan, and a crucial ultimates online as well for them.
Kitty Cat, as we see this replay, such a good job playing behind this screen. The collat comes in. I don't even remember. That second kill was insane.
Oh, shut up.
Just trying to get behind.
The fade away?
That's insane. And then doesn't even have to pop the showstopper. So now you're going into this next round with the showstopper. You have 4 ultimates online if you're Razyngan. This is looking bleaker and bleaker for 5 guys. You've had such a dominant half so far, but all you need is one more slip up, and this map has completely gone away from you. And so we're going to see this fight out towards mid again. Flash coming out, and immediately Kaori taken out. It's Jersey to go absolutely insane, getting 3 in mid, and that's the spike. Now we're in a 2v2 scenario. We have these 3 ultimates available. So still very much available for both teams, but it's a minute 20 in the round, and it's already.
Problem is that Katie used the From the Shadows, the TP, in the previous round to get this spike. Now they're going to have to invest dark cover, this smoke, to block off vents, and Jersey from getting any more kills. Round, I believe, for 3. Back for the ace. Close it out. There it is. Presence has been noted. Bullets as well. Gonna be sprayed through the smoke. Paranoia. They're gonna clear that corner. Heads up play. Chopsticks and Katie, this dynamic duo of controllers. We're talking about the duelist duo, but as well, we've got to remember double controller being played there on the side of 5 guys. Now, they are up against Showstopper. I was wondering, will the Viper Spit be invested? It most certainly will. What does Race find? 2 satchels. Weapon of mass destruction. Their back pocket.
So dominant.
And a little bit. Oh, Caddy Kid takes down the pit owner, and the showstopper is online now. There it is! In the nick of time, Katie finds a headshot at the best possible time. Yes, they do go down, but the round is won, salvaged by 5 guys.
Now, you can't see my camera.
It was always going to be Katie.
Ali, you can't see my camera, but I did the absolute cinema. I did the absolute cinema because that is what that round was. A beautiful 3K from Jersey and Edie Kit with the 2 rounds. That's the person you want in that scenario, in that 1v2. And yet it was Katie with the beautiful shot. I'm just speechless. Here comes that showstopper on the site. Nobody on site. But it's Katie Kit from heaven to take down Dark Matter and easily gonna just get off site so that showstopper can be rendered null.
I'm still wondering where Dark Matter died from. Was it a peek from ramps?
Yes.
From the position of their death, it has to be. But such a fast exit from Caddy Kid. It seemed like it was almost nothing. And there it is! The paint shells get 2. It's gonna be on FP Shadow now. Trades 2Ks for both races, and that is going to be it. Jersey and Zombie close it out with a little help from Res, and of course Caddy Kid almost on 30 frags, 13-9, the final scoreline here in favor of Razyngan.
That beautiful job there. They did have a little bit of you were clenching your teeth, you were clenching your cheeks as well. That second half was so far away from them, but they were able to net themselves enough rounds on their attack side that all they needed was two. And when you're five guys, when you're that far down, there's just so much to do to get you to that point. And I think if they had gotten a few more rounds on defense, we could have seen this map go overtime or in favor of five guys. But unfortunately, when your defensive side was so weak, you just don't have a lot to work on. And the mistakes were capitalized, and Razyngan deserved this win, especially Katie Kit, 27-16. We mentioned they were having a slow start to that second half, but as soon as they came online again, Razyngan started winning.
We'll take a look at it in a few seconds. I was doing the calculations when Razyngan finally got to map point. It was 8 rounds that they won on the offense before five guys won their defensive round. It was only 7 rounds that five guys won on the defense. Does it mean anything? I don't think it does, but still, it hints at something maybe could play a role later on. Razyngan, they've got the resilience. Five guys do as well, but perhaps not as much. The stats right here so heavily lopsided in favor of Razyngan. Those opening bloods, especially attacking side, were so strong. No clutches technically conceded, but I do think we have seen our fair share of them. Some absolutely cinematic clutches, some maybe more of a simple backstab and defuse, but still, I think we can say that was a pretty good map of Valorant. Now, quick reminder, that was five guys' pick. It was Razyngan that elected to start on the attack, and what a good decision it was for them. We will be going into Ascent next. Five guys chose to start on the defense. So, once again, they start on the theoretically favored side. The question is, I saw what happened when they started on the theoretically favored side of Split. Will we see a repeat mint, or will maybe five guys do good on their own map pick? Will they show us a side of them that we have not seen? Maybe a Phoenix you were talking about, maybe razzle dazzle, some magic when they need it most.
They have played the Phoenix on this map before, but if my calculations are correct, they have gone 16-2 this whole tournament. I believe the only two maps they've lost have been on this Ascent. And so when you're going into this Ascent, if you're five guys, you gotta be a little bit nervous, because how are you going to change your composition to play against Razyngan to really make sure that your mental isn't cooked after the last round? You really need to make sure you're staying on it. And five guys, you just lost your map pick. You're going into your weakest map. I just hope they don't lose their mental here and they keep fighting, because they had it in Split. They didn't have enough rounds to work with. And if they bring that same fight into Ascent, I believe we can see a map 3.
Very well, see a map 3, but we're going to have to wait a little bit for that action. We're going to have to get through map 2 first. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break for the players to get ready, get some water. Do the same at home, because we are in for one hell of a ride. We will be right back with some more great Valorant here at Empress Playoffs. All right. We are back for some more action. My name is Alligator. Got Min Stick, the one and only, by my side to bring to your screens Ascent, the second map, this upper bracket finals. Man, we just had an absolute banger of a split. A bit of a peculiar map in the way it played out, but I think we can say overall a banger.
An absolute banger. This was me the whole time. The whole time. To go from 11 to 1 to almost win the map, I was in shock the whole time, Alligator. And I hope that maybe it's less stressful as we go into this Ascent match, because as much fun as it is to watch, my poor heart, Allie, I can't take it. I'm getting old now. I can't handle these heart attacks. But as we go into Ascent, this is Razyngan's pick. They picked Ascent, which I think is smart from them, because Five Guys has only ever dropped 2 maps on Ascent. This has been their weakest map. And when you've already taken away their map pick from them on Split, you're looking really good as you go into map 2 when it's their weakest map. And we are going to have Five Guys start on defense. So how do you think that's going to switch everything up?
Well, I think that's a crucial difference. I've got the stat sheet right here by my side. Last time, Five Guys played in the previous round of the playoffs, like we talking about, it was the exact same map set, right? Split, Ascent, Lotus, with Ascent not being their pick, with it being their point. The difference is that last time around, they started on attack on Split and on attack also on Ascent. So both maps not on the theoretically favored side. Now, they did win 7 rounds in the attacking side on Ascent last time around. They just were only able to get 2 on their defense. So maybe there's a little bit of a disparity between their attack and their defense. Maybe they want to change things up with their play style, perhaps. Maybe if their defense is theoretically weaker, start there, try to get as many rounds on the favorite side as possible, and then rely on your attack being stronger, because they did win technically at half last time around. They just hold it down when they were on defense. Compositions as well are going to be very interesting, because I do believe that game was played during the week where Neon was unavailable. And yes, maybe we haven't seen Neon the most on Ascent compared to other duelists, other agents in general. We were talking about the Phoenix coming out. There it is, locked in from Jersey. But could be a Neon at play here if 5 guys are brave enough. On the other side, kind of a bit of the old, a bit of the new, with that Chamber Phoenix Waylay sort of new core joining the Omen and Nova. 5 guys, they like to hover the same agent until the very end. It was Neon that week that was banned. It's Harbor apparently today. Well, what do you think they might come up with? Because I've got the comp right here from last time. It was Vice, Jet, Phoenix, Omen, Sova. Do you think they're going to stick to their guns or maybe try to experiment?
Well, they actually just decided to lock everything in.
Hey?
We did get a Vice. We got a Waylay. We got a Yoru. We got a Yoru, alligator. Can you believe that? They are going to go with the Sova. Great pick for a set. And they are going to go with the Omen. But this Yoru pick, we don't see it as much anymore after the nerf. Like, he took his glasses off. That's what you've done. That's what you've done to him. I'm sorry, that Yoru pick's insane, because now you only have 1 flash. You only have 15 seconds after you put your TP down. It's not a conventional pick anymore. So what have they cooked up with this Yoru? Because on this attack side, they need to come out swinging. They need to absolutely dominate, because like you said, their defensive half is so weak. They need to come out swinging with this comp.
Well, you said it. They cooked here. The question is it a 5-star meal? Are they the chefs, or are they going to burn down the kitchen, giving all those flames that Jersey thrives in? We'll have to see out of this. Of course, like we said, 5 guys starting on the defense. 5 around. It's also going to be interesting to see how the Yoru plays after the nerfs, right? Because we have assumed that it's so weak. We have barely seen it. Even at the highest level of pro play, yes, we did have Exter going on the Yoru as a swan song, and Envy absolutely dog walking at MIBR out of seemingly nowhere, although now we know that MIBR absolutely crumbled. But still, we have not seen a lot of high-level Yoru. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out here. Now, Recon darts, I believe, were traded. There were a lot of reveals to go with those flashes. So everyone knows where everyone is. Both teams heavy on A main, except for that Vice from KT. Now taking up space through B. Now has a sideline onto mid, and that is a very, very important pinch. Watch for our Razyngan. Now they have cleared wine. They are gearing up for the side hit. The Waylay, the dash is in. The Ghost and the Classic are good for 2 for the moment. Dark Matter pinching in from the side. This Yoru is a menace. Did they know something that we didn't?
I think it's just Dark Matter. Everything is just putty in the palm of their hand, able to take it out. Zombie has been able to get 2 players down, but Spike is in no man's land in the middle of sight. And I actually really like what 5 guys did that round. They stacked 4 towards A. Only the Vice on that B. Oh, TPing out.
30 seconds left.
Only 35 HP. Now they know exactly where you are. You gotta be careful here. And there goes Zombie. 2 for his troubles. But with how they pushed up in mid there, they knew that it was going to be an A hit. KD pushed all the way through B. all the way through mid. So you knew it was going to be an A hit. They could stack that site, and you saw that when that hit came out, they had the players there, they had the utility ready, and all the kills just went in the way of 5 guys there. So a much needed pistol round in order to reset their mental after that last game, last map, I say.
Interesting as well that I want to point out is the role swaps. Last time they played Ascent, it was Katie on that signature Omen with Chopsticks on the Vise. This time around, aside from the Waylay on Waylay violence courtesy of Kaori, it is Katie playing the Vise. So maybe they want to switch things around, seeing as it hasn't made a successful tactic other way. Of course, that Yoru is a very, very big difference. Previously, of course, it was FP Shadow still swapping roles. Last time around, it was the Sova still. Saw them in Dark Matter switching over from Yoru. Kaori also switching over from the Jet. So maybe some compositional differences there. But I think the biggest one is the KD with Chopstick. Swap of roles between cutting through and Controller. Sorry, not that everything wrong. It is Controller and Sentinel, not Duelist and Initiator, and it is also Dark Matter having to get the hell out of there. Line was cleared, or so they think. They saw the TP out.
30 seconds left.
Crash spotted. Either they knew that Dark Matter had teleported out, or did they? Because maybe they thought it was a... So they have decided to come over here to this B side. It is much safer to go into 8 Vise. The problem is that they don't know about this. The sheer wall goes up, and now time is running oh so low. Shock Dart at the ready will take one player down. Actually, that will be Katie with the Thorns. And that is not going to be flawless, which always irks me. But it is going to be a quasi-flawless round for 5 guys, courtesy of FP Shadow's 3K with that Ares.
Beautiful shots coming out, and Razyngan not clearing that angle there, the wall separating the teammates, and then at that point, there's just not enough time. You want to die so you get the most amount of money. The best case scenario, 4 or 5 guys, they took their 4 strongest guns, only leaving the Marshal behind. So we are not even going to see a buy from Katie. We're just going to see them dropped the Spectre from their teammate. And now we're going into a gun versus a weak buy here, but you're walking right into that Ares. It can still cause a lot of damage. You got to be careful. Paranoid coming out to stall. Gonna net them exactly what they need. A little bit of stall here.
But look at that, Kaori so fast down mid, taking down Jersey after the opening big. Now that Shock Dart heads up play from FP Shadow. No zombie is low. Caddy can't be there for the equalizer. Now Chopstick having to hold it down here with a ghost only. But if they hit the headshot, still not gonna be enough life. Gonna be on life support. 2-on-3 retake, but the weaponry not favor 5 guys. They are aware of the flank.
No
if
way.
Katie can find this kill, indeed they can with the headshots. The Spectre at long range, not the favored weapon, but it's still good enough. Now through the wall, the Vandal is always going to have the advantage. 1-on-1, KT. Have to defuse. Do they know where this other player is coming from? Life on just that 1 HP, and KT gets it done. Bonus perfection from 5 guys.
All you had to do was sneeze on Leaf there, and that's exactly what they did. Literally 1 HP. Beautiful job from there, isolating those 1v1s. Kaori just pushing up the flank, able to grab that player, still hiding back in from the pack. And then from there, that Shock Dart kill, again, just thinning out the crowds even more. Beautiful job there from 5 guys. This is exactly what they needed to change their mental based off that first map. And now as we go into the second round, we even see them picking up some outlaws because they know that they're going to have these weaker shields. 2 players, no shields at all. Oh, excuse me. Only 1 player, no shield at all.
Extra sometimes likes to mess with the builds. It would only be full one in the hands of Zombie. Hag as well had against Marshall. Now, oh so fast, this Waylay, the duel, the refract is going to come through. Hattie Kit dropped. Have the Position to be in Jersey. If they can find this Sheriff headshot by surprise, maybe they could have had something in their hands. Blaze is going to go up, countered by a Paranoia. Chopsticks very much aware of what could be happening. A little bit of a spray. That Phantom, no tracers, is crucial. It's dirty, but it's done. Katie good for 2. FP Shadow and Dark Matter combined for another pair elsewhere in the map, and that's going to be Catty Kit last alive. That Recon Dart broken, but position revealed and weaponry revealed as well.
Chopsticks, lucky to have their teammates with their back, whiffing a little bit of their shots there, and Katie Kit really digging their heels in, fighting for their lives there, but the Stinger, it just runs out of bullets so quick. Not much you can do there. 5 guys are going to get their 4th on the round, and we see this first ult cycle come up. Have the Hunter's Fury, they have the Steel Garden, both great to clear the site that they'll be hitting. Wait, are they? Sorry, they're on defense. I'm a little slow right now.
They are indeed on
They
defense.
are great stall ultimates. You can use that Hunter's Fury to really break up the offense in their hit. That Steel Garden is going to make them have to wait to hit that site for about 15 seconds. So 2 good ultimates here for that stall utility. There goes that boombox. Wait, boomstick.
There it is. We've got the boomstick in the hands of Kaori Wele.
Boom, boom,
The best duelists. Best agents in general outside of Chamber and Jet. Maybe she is the operator with, but Catty Kid is going to be good for the kill. A way for Kaori to come back. The Phoenix run it back, taken down. That is a key to using that ultimate. You have to bring it up so fast. 5 rounds in might even be a bit too slow, but Catty Kid knows nothing about slowing down. It is all about speed. Or about not grabbing that orb for Jersey on the way out, but I guess players know better than me as way over 8 side. Be they go. Catty Kit lagging a little bit behind. Convergent Paths online. Maybe good for a post plant. We play from heaven. Yes, they do. Life is tuck in. There is Dark Rose available. Try to come out. The flash is good. Paranoia is good as well. And the Hell player is cleared. So what seemed impossible at first is now going to be in a much better spot. But as soon as I say that, Catty Kid and Jersey combine for 2. Chopsticks here trying to make their way, but getting burned, getting slowed down, getting hindered. The Phantom, oh, it goes a tiny bit too wide, and Jersey is good for it. First round on the board for Razyngan.
Great adjustment from them, realizing that how stacked that B site was, pivoting to the A off the space made by Zombie. Great adjustment from them. But one thing I have been noticing is that they haven't been smoking that door there. Maybe they're just really banking on having Katy Kit dash in and hit the lever to cover that door. But there's now been 2 times now where they have died from that door position because there hasn't been a smoke there. And it's really been an extremity that they haven't covered that has been a detriment to them. So I would like to see maybe a little bit adjustment from them if they decide to keep hitting B, because it has been kicking them in the butt.
Here could be a very smart play. Dark Matter gets revealed by the Recon Dart and then fakes the gate crash. The problem is, when throwing that shoulder, they were spotted by Life on the boxes. Bit of a miss. Bill. Matter now. Over to mid. They have heard this Chamber ultimate activate. Gonna get the Waylay on the headshot. Crisp and clean. This Yoru. And it seemed like no nerfs at all were applied to this agent. Still a lot of presence. The B side from 5 guys. They do not want to be caught with their pants down. Kaori only has a Marshall, but FP Shadow Compensate has an Odin with absolutely infinite bullets. Now Rez on the run and gun long range Stinger. Please, someone nerf this gun. Riot Games, if you are watching. Hello? Actually, please don't nerf it because I play a lot with it and I really like it.
Okay.
Anyway, back into it. The plan still has not gone down, and it will not live. Taking a bit too long, but Jersey and Rez are going to combine for 2. The problem is that time is running low. Katie catching the rotates here. There it is. Jersey now forced to go forward, forced to stick it. Pinch in a 1 versus 2. The Odin is not going to save you, especially not with how long it takes to fire up. 5-1 the scoreline, still in favor of Five Guys.
Jersey just had a little bit more time there to get that spike down, or maybe to try and isolate one of those kills before they got the spike there. That could have been a whole different story, but the pressure to get that spike down, you have to stick it or else you'd lose just based on time. And actually, we are going to see a timeout out from Zin here, as they just lost a round that they should have won. Now they got to figure out what they can do. They have 2 ultimates available. From the shadows, not the strongest one when you're attacking, but still, you could use something great with that. You have that Hunter's Fury. If you can get a ping onto one of those players, hopefully get a tag, hopefully get a pick off of it on the other side. You still have that Steel Garden, like I said. That is such a good use of an ultimate to really stall these players out, to bide more time for the rotates of your teammates to come in. So although they have the ultimates available, they're running into a brick wall here on the side of Five Guys.
Something crucial that I want to point out there. We saw it, I believe, a couple times on Split. It didn't hurt Razyngan, but Life has generally been in charge of getting that spike down. And already a few times they have tried to bait something, some reaction out of Five Guys with a fake, or even 2 fakes, as we saw in that round. The problem is that when you're running out of time, you can't afford to fake the plant so many times, because then you're going to leave your teammates in a terrible position. And indeed, that's what ended up happening. They just got caught with their pants down. If you fake this, if you fake the plant twice, it is almost certainly guaranteed that you are going to go for it on the 3rd one. And so it was the simplest decision for Chopsticks to swing out and take down Planter, ultimately resulting in the round win for Five Guys. Now there was from the shadows used for Life, as a sheer wall has been moved over from B to A. That has been a very, very nefarious surprise for Razyngan to encounter. Now the rotations are starting to come through, but look at the amount of space that is available in mid for Five Guys. Kate has this cross covered. Maybe Kaori could go down. 1 more kill and they will find the conversion paths. Has been so crisp. Headshots. So again, they want to find something actually back into this A side. We go. The Yoru was hindered, while the flash up into the sky completely denies the saturate. Now the Steel Garden, like you said, there to stall Hunter's Fury to reply. There was also a run it back invested from Jersey, and now the Dimensional Drift reveals a player tucked away in wine. That was Catty Kit with a stinger. The Waylay Raz has gone down, but still a 4-on-5 in favor of Five Guys. The problem once again is time running low from Razyngan. And honestly, if I'm Razyngan at this point, I just save the weapons. That seems like they're what they're going to do. The problem is that Jersey goes down. The one that you want to go down is a stinger, not a rifle. And they were not able to execute that save to the degree that they would have wanted to, let alone perfection. I did not like that from Razyngan.
It seemed like a little bit of a miscommunication between the team. They had 2 people saving in main, and yet 2 people still trying to hit that A site, trying to get a pick there at the end. So maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there. And we saw this last round and on round 1. There's so many times where Razyngan are putting all 5 of their players in one main position. And when they do that, they allow the rest of the map to be opened up. And we saw them take advantage of that 2 times. Five Guys were able to take that mid space. They know they're not hitting the other site. They're able to stack that A site because they're making no presence. Oh, beautiful shot. But they're making that presence only on one site. And when you're able to push through, you know they're not going to hit it. And would like, again, to see that adjustment. Oh, Life does get traded out. Oh, Jersey, beautiful shot with that Sheriff. It is going to be 3v3, and he'll be able to pick up that gun. So, looking a little bit even here.
Something in Razyngan, that trap play that we saw at the exit of B main, but Dark Matter catches Zombie. That was a Vandal, I believe, that went down. Dark Matter is going to have a lot of here floor. And fakes the teleport. It even more question marks in the heads of the Razyngan players who have now been spotted by Chopsticks. The question is, did they spot the Omen? I do believe they did. The Phantom on the pre-fire gets one. Problem is that Jersey's position is now known. Thing is going out. All this utility is going to be called out by Dark Matter. So FP Shadow now has the backstab and jumping all the way up the ramp. Surely I thought Jersey would have heard that. Apparently not. 7-1, a little Brazil in the house in favor of Five Guys.
Brazil, Brazil, Brazil! Five Guys. This is looking like the story of map 1, but completely opposite. Now we have the From the Shadows available for Five Guys. We have that Convergent Pass as well, and Kiori picking up that operator. What do we call it? We call it a boomstick. But choosing to prop up on this B main position, and again, that's exactly where Zin are going. Will they have the utility? Take them off the angle. Let's see. Nope, they won't.
Ooh. I was going to say Kiori a little bit of a slow start, currently bottom fragging for their team, but you know what? That's a good thing about the operator. Allows you to get one. Just go back. You refract back to your earlier position. Dash away. You TP away with your chamber. You even TP away with a Yoru. And you're A-okay. Still at full health. No heavy shields invested, so could still go down relatively quickly. But it's going to be a very, very hard variable for Razyngan to deal with. Little lurk from the Phoenix. They're trying to find a way to mid. They know the operator has repositioned. Shot goes wide. The blaze wall goes up. There's some space that will be taken. Razyngan as they try to make their way into market. The question is, do they pivot all the way over to B, or do they maybe go over towards A? I think that might be a question we will never answer, as FP Shadow gets the Odin kill. Who will be the next one to fall? It will be Life, actually, at the hands of Kiori. That's shocked out. She takes FPS Shadow so low, but Dark Matter is going to be there for the help. The 1-2-3 swing with a Reckon Dart even. It is going to be 8 on the board. Now, flawless for Five Guys. They clearly knew what they were doing, picking defense on this map.
Yes, their defensive side has been so strong, and just that last round, besides that first kill from Kaori, as it was all 5 players coming into them, they did such a good job at isolating those picks. There was nobody in a position to really trade out their teammates. They were able to isolate the 1v1s, the 2v1s, to really take down Razyngan. And then, at the time, there's only 35 seconds left. You have 3 players down. You don't have space on either site. What are you going to do? So just really tough for Razyngan to really find their footing here on this half. You see an A push here, but Kitty Cat Kit really just whiffs those phantom shots. And unfortunately, now you're down 3. Sorry, what? A 4v5. I can count. I passed kindergarten. I promise.
Well, maybe we shall make it a 4v3 very soon. It technically was for a second, so Mint, I think you were absolutely right. But elsewhere in the map, kills are going down. Boom goes the operator. Res eliminated from the map. It's not going to be flawless technically, but I reckon Five Guys are going to be pretty happy with that one. Wrecking Bolt gets the reveal. FB Shadow through the wall. Team Ace. No Gerald Ace anymore in these playoffs, but still Team Aces we will see. This case from 5G. 9-1. A couple more rounds left in the half. Trying to do to Razyngan what they got done unto them on split.
A petition to have both teams rename all their players Gerald.
Petition denied.
Oh, okay. Well, there goes my hopes and dreams.
Yep, sorry, I do not want to deal with that again.
I was actually doing a watch
Although
party,
I kind of do miss the Gerald days.
and I was saying I really wished I could cast a Gerald match because I would have so much fun with that. Oh, beautiful shot from Kaori.
Ooh,
That operator.
I'll tell you who's having fun.
You? Me?
Kaori! Have you seen that boomstick ring? That is the most fun that you can have with the gameplay other than perhaps getting an ace. Dark Matter, probably going to be pretty happy with that one as well. Not the strongest buy round. Spectre, Sheriff. There is a Vandal. There are some Vandals in the hands of some Razyngan members. But when you've got death ringing around your ears, maybe you want to go elsewhere, deeper into tree. They progress. They hear the Odin as well, ringing with the sound of death. Shock Dart as well. Be found. Life does take down FP Shadow, but 4 HP, they're going to need to pull off a miracle, and no help comes from above at 10-1 favor of Five Guys.
This is legitimately the story of Split. We might just see an 11-1 half here, which is exactly what we saw on Split. One difference, I'm really surprised that we haven't seen a second timeout come out here. They really just need something to stop their momentum, get their heads out of whatever they're thinking to really reset their mentals here. And we just haven't seen that. So based off this round, a 10-2 and 11-1, both are not score lines you want. So they're going to go for an early B push, run it back, push. Now wall not triggered yet. Ooh, hip down to so little damage. Hot Hands comes out. Oh, beautiful job.
Molly was absolutely beautiful, like you said, not triggering the sheer wall, maybe a little mistake, but now that device is gone, it will not be a problem. Hunter's Fury defensively comes out from FP Shadow. Rez is going to get some tags here and there, but not going to find anything else. 10-2, seemingly the scoreline for this first half, and there it is. Jersey with the 3K confirms it. Razyngan finding some gasps of life at the end of their offense.
Finally finding something, really gasping for air here, but top 6, I'm not sure if you noticed, but all members of Razyngan were less than 50 HP that round. If they were able to take those fights just a little smarter, that could have easily been an 11th round for Five Guys, just based on the HP. Just one bullet to them and they would have been out, but great job for Razyngan to getting that second on the board. And now as we look into this pistol, this is a must win for Razyngan. If they do not win this one, I don't see them winning the map.
They would put themselves in a very, very deep hole. Talked about it before. You win the pistol, you're almost certainly guaranteed to win the follow-up round, that anti-eco that some people call. Then you risk it all to have to win out from the bonus onwards. Patty Kit with some early exploration over here. Main in from mid and into Cat. This ball of death is going to meet Jersey. The barrels of the guns were poking out, but the Phoenix can't get a single point of damage. Paranoia goes wide. Catty Kid is good for the kill. Maybe not perfect, but still good enough. Dark Matter misses the timing. No Whaley should be around here. Operate's gone. Might have to reposition. Katie is hearing all these steps. Katie's good for 1. Katie's actually good for 2 before getting taken down from the pinch. Now this position over into hell with Yoru playing main. It's going to be so hard to clear, even more so with pistols. Maybe a classic right click. Now the Recon Bolt is going to show you the position. The wallbang with Ghost is going to be good. Split. Crossfire. This is going to be impossible for Catty Kit to find, and Kaori, after a slow start to the map, finally finding their way back into it. 11, and you'd have to imagine 12 very soon for Five Guys.
That was a must-win for Razyngan if they wanted to find any semblance of a comeback in this map. And unfortunately, we did not see that. I think a little bit of a mix-up. Well, actually, not a mix-up. A mix-up from Katie is actually she triggered that trademark in mid, so they were able to kind of descend onto Katie there. But Katie getting 2 in mid is absolutely unacceptable for Razyngan if you're trying to win that round. Just the uncoordination in those peaks there was able to net Katie the one-on-one fights and able to get 2 of them. And I think ultimately that was why Five Guys won that round, is because they just had the bodies based off that fight with Katie.
Was indeed a factor. Now the buy here is not perfect by any means, but it had to come through from Razyngan. 4 Stingers and an Ares. We know how strong those machine guns can be. The defense, we shadow with 1 on the offense as well. the outlaw. That is the crucial part. Every single member from Razyngan would die to one shot. The body 3. Well, in the hands, five guys should be a little bit better at range. Fingers are being held. I think five guys really want to figure out some information before they commit, and there it is. The first piece of the domino falls down. Dark Matter trying to get something down here. Takes down one. KD gonna be there for the trade. It's not flawless. Once again, I don't think five guys care that much about it. Chopsticks about to find one on the lurk here. Jersey gets this Omen oh so low, but that will not cut it. Spike goes down and only Catty left alive. You'd have to imagine we are going to map 3.
I'm not sure I have to imagine. I think that after this, they're going to be brought down to just a pistol round, and it's going to take a miracle to get how many rounds would they need in a row. Someone do the math for me really quick. Oh, I might have spoken too soon. Oh, I did not. They would have to win, if they win this next round with the pistols, they would have to win 9 rounds in a row to win this map. 10 rounds in a row here to take it to overtime. And with how this Ascent map has been played, I don't see it happening. And I think if I were Razyngan, I would really find something to reset my mental for this third map. Yeah, find something to reset your mental.
They're gonna need... They're going to need a little bit more than something. They're gonna need something big. Find biggest reset button they've ever seen, probably. But it starts here. Catty Kid gets one. Dark Matter with the trade, though. Exactly what five guys want to do. They want to play the trade game. They can do this for as long as they want. It is only one round that they need. Rest spots a shoulder, takes down Katie. That's a good start. We're gonna get traded instantly. The better weaponry is good from five guys, and now the Phantom is gonna be retrieved from the ground. There's a sheer wall as well, watching the flank, so they don't have to worry about that. They can go as fast as they want. There's also no trips, no walls, no central utility really to speak of to prevent entry onto site, and indeed they have made their way here so fast, threatening the plant, finally going down, and now playing from that boathouse position can be strong. Into backside, technically a 3-on-3, but these two teams are not on equal footing. Dark Matter, the third in the round, could be on for the ace to close it out. There it is, the fourth one. You'd have to imagine Jersey is going to be fed to the Wolves. The Yoru has a dimensional drift, pops it instantly to figure out where this Phoenix is. Dude, as those blue signs come around, he knows he's gotta run. You can run, but you can't hide. 13-2 will be the final scoreline on Ascent. Five guys, I think they return the favor pretty handily.
But cinematic end to a cinematic map. An ace from Dark Matter's really just the cherry on top. Five guys, they knew what they wanted. They knew that they couldn't let this map slip away from them, and they did exactly what they needed to do to bring it to map 3. And now, Razyngan, you got to be careful because your mental could be totally crushed after this game. To lose a map so badly, it can be hard to really reset yourself and put it behind you and just go to map 3, which will be Lotus. Very excited for that. But this last map, I hope it doesn't weigh on them as they go into map 3, because it could affect you mentally, and I hope that's not the case for Razyngan, because I know they have a lot in them, and I know they have a lot to prove.
I think that was a crucial factor. Map 1 to map 2. It was, yes, an 11-1 half in favor Razyngan. I saw the transition. I thought we were getting thrown off air already going into break before the map, and I was like, wait, my brain short-circuited. I still haven't processed this entire game. I cannot process anything more complex right now. Take a look at that. 11 first kills for five guys. More post plants in their favor. Really not much to talk about here. This whole map could have been an email. I think the important thing is that, yes, it was an 11-1 half in favor of Razyngan over on Split, but it was still 8 rounds that Five Guys were able to get on the offensive side before they lost. 13-9 is so different from 13-2. The last time Razyngan won a meaningful round was over 15 rounds ago. Now, you can say those 2 rounds they won here on a set have been pretty much inconsequential. 21 kills from the Yoru from Dark Matter. That is absolutely insane. Taking an agent that was theoretically nerfed into the ground. Everyone in the community is saying, hey, this agent is unplayable. We got to bring him back somehow. The pros aren't even touching him. Only the biggest Yoru one trick ever has picked the Yoru recently, and it was only because they're going away from tier 1 competition. Dark Matter steps in, switches over from the Sky, from the Initiator to the Duelist, goes absolutely lights out. Sova, FP Shadow, 13 kills, 11 assists. I mean, this was just lights out from everyone on Five Guys, and like you said, Razyngan, they need to find something big here. Now, Five Guys are going to start on the theoretically favored side of attack on Lotus. And we've talked about these theoretically favored sides on all maps. And I want to ask you, do Razyngan have what it takes to hold, I don't want to say a good defense, but a decent defense to then swap over to the attack and close it out? Or are Five Guys just going to continue their stomp? I want to ask some numbers. How many rounds do you think Razyngan need on their starting defense if they want to have a chance to close it out on the offense?
I think, Alligator, I think they're gonna at least need 5 rounds on that defensive half. Now, it is important to point out that today they are playing with a sub. So Lava is not here today. They are playing with Leaf instead. Leaf has been in some clutch scenarios, has been able to make some magic happen for their team, but the morale difference between one of your players being gone could be a factor here. And I think that they're going to need at least 5 on the defensive half if they really want to get it into their heads that this is the map they're going to win to take them to grand finals, because that's what we're playing for. We are going to grand finals after this match, and it's whichever team wants it more. So, wants it more, you guys are going to have to come back and see, because we are going to actually go to a quick break. So, go take a little rest. You guys back here soon.
Of the sweetest words in the entirety of Valorant. Map 3. There we go. My name is Alligator. I've got the one and only Min Stick to bring you all the action of this thrilling conclusion to our upper bracket finals here in the Empress Season 1 playoffs. Number 1 seed Five Guys against number 2 seed Razyngan. Both teams went undefeated in their respective groups. 7-0 group stage flawless. 9-13 they as a result of the Razyngan took the pick off of Five Guys. Five Guys replied with an absolute thrashing, 13-2, and now Mint, we are headed for a Lotus decider. Do or not quite die, drop to the lower bracket, but I don't even know, a spot in the grand finals. Oh my goodness, my words are gone, is at stake. I'll leave it over to you to tell us what we can expect here.
Cinema. That's been my favorite word of the day, Gator. We're gonna see some cinema today. Yes. Going into this map 3. This is our first 3 map of the series. So a lot different play-wise. It's very much for an attack-sided map because you can't have 3-2 on the map. You know, you can only have like 1-2-2, or maybe you stack 3-2. It's very hard for you to control every single site. So it's much an attack-sided map, and Five Guys are actually going to start on that attack side. So they theoretically should be they should have the advantage here going into this map. But Razyngan, you have fought against the test of time. You've shown what you can do when you're on the side disadvantage. I wouldn't be surprised if they surprise us. That's kind of counterintuitive, but
well, as you can see, dear viewers, we are at a loss for words. We've just had bangers for maps 1 and 2. If you missed them, you're tuning in definitely at the right time. Just a quick recap of what you missed. Razyngan, we said they took off Five Guys' map pick. They went 11-1 in the starting half, and then Five Guys almost brought it back. It was 8-2 in this half. Then, on Ascent, Razyngan's map pick, because it is the one that Five Guys have previously lost twice on before, Five Guys went 10-2 on the offense, and they closed it out 13-2. Now we're going into Lotus, and we might see some very interesting. Jersey, for starters, back on the Jet. Lava subbing in for Life, or rather unsubbing because Life was already a sub, so Lava coming back into the starting lineup. We see the Raze Chamber fade, as well as Viper being hovered on the side of Five Guys. So I think everything pretty traditional outside maybe the Jet, and I was going to say the Harbor, but that seems like it's going to be gone shortly. We see a Clove. Never mind, we've got Clove from Rez. We had Yoru on Ascent. We now have a Clove on Lotus. I am losing my mind.
Yeah, you know, I can't say Clove is my first choice, especially on a 3-site map. So Clove smokes, you can't smoke them as far as any of the other agents like Omen or like Astra. You really have to play B almost like every single round, or else you can't smoke that well. And then the smokes also fade so fast, and especially on a 3-site map, that's not what you want. You don't want the fast fading smokes. And now, especially after their nerf, where when they're dead, the after death smokes, they're gone like that. And that again is something you just don't want on the 3-site map, especially if you're trying to bomb or something. So I mean, I'm interested to see what they've cooked up here, but I am a little worried, I will not lie.
I think you've got every reason to be Clove, one of the agents hit by that last round of big nerfs on before Neon, of course. Yoru was one of those ranked demons that we saw taken down. Still, we saw it on Ascent. Clove was another one of those ranked demon agents. Saw as well taken down, but we back on a low heavy towards the B side. There is a sheer wall to be had here. They take down Rez, but the rest of the push might be delayed a little bit. FP Shadow here trying to catch the flankers. Catty Kid though, good for it. Maybe trying to find their form from map 1. Absolute banger, almost getting 30 kills. 27 was the final number. Attacking side. Now that they're on the defense, they're gonna need to find something else, especially with Chopsticks pushing in so deep. That's your Razyngan. KT Dark Matter are going to combine for 2, and now Lava, the resub, is going to be left alone in a 1 versus 2, but they are not aware of the backstab. That Prowler is going to make it that much harder. Guiding Light goes out, doesn't get any tags, now knows that there's someone in the flank. The classic, it's not a right click, but it's still good for it. Time is ticking low, though. The 1 versus 1, Dark Matter and Lava Very low. The right click should do it, but they are not able to get it. The ghost to the body is good enough. And Dark Matter gets a pistol round win for 5 guys.
Lava immediately back in the game, ready to prove that he's got what it takes, and getting that almost clutch there. Very valiant effort there, but 5 guys able to win that clutch, able to win that 1v1, and Dark Matter on top. And again, they have Caddy Kit on that defensive, on that, not defensive, on that flank pressure. So after Caddy Kit got that kill, they backed off, but Razyngan didn't. 5 guys didn't know that, so they still had to be wary of it. Very good job from them, although it did net them though.
Now we see here to funnel ult orbs towards Kaori. No Phoenix, so the showstopper is probably your highest priority. Ultimate. Next. I don't know if your wall up, who I believe tells me it did. So Vice Utility already being spent. The Outlaw is going to be good for 1. Those kills are going to be coming in from FP Shadow. The Headhunter got another one finally taken down, but it leaves Lava so weak. This guy immediately going to be taken down. No Flawless. We found here for 5 guys. We do have to imagine Din would like to go down to the bomb.
Looks like they're gonna go for it. Now Zombie choosing to pressure does fall to Chopsticks, so now just up to Rez has picked up that Outlaw on this flank position here, but it's being watched for by Chopsticks and by Katie. Not even able to get a tag, and now they know exactly where you are. You're gonna have to fight for your life to stay alive if you don't want them to get these orbs. Be a little bit of a stalemate. A little bit of a ring around the rosy. Able to grab 1 kill. Actually, best case scenario to die to the spike here. Wow, that was something you don't see every single day, but 5 guys gonna get the second on the round. Gonna take 3 guns into this next round, and they're already halfway to almost all of their ultimates on the side of 5 guys, so we could see one of those coming up in the next round or 2.
Funnily enough, because Kaori goes down, I believe, so early, the only player that has been grabbing the ult orbs is the one that's furthest away from gaining their ultimate. Side of Razyngan, like you said, still built up. The secret would reasonably come online in a round or 2, and of course, Rez getting that best case scenario with a kill and the death to the spike. Trying to get that up as fast as possible.
Very slow start to the round. I mean, only 20 seconds on so far. See a good C hit coming here. Happy to just bait out this util from Zombie and then pivot to another site because they can always come back to C later, especially now that the util's gone.
But he baited out is such an important part of playing against a Vice. Press here. Pick me up, but rather than not dead yet, the ultimate wards. Hyper wall additional over onto the A side. Here, Caddy Kid is trying to throw some shoulders, especially now, and the wall goes up. They're going to be aware of the presence. I believe the Haunter was infested towards rubble to that side. Now, as we hit the 30-second mark, very, very heavy presence into here. Raz and Lava are going to combine for 2 elsewhere on the map. Coming in from Secret, from Hobbit, whatever you want to call it. The kills are being found nonetheless. Now, Kaori, tip of the spear here on side. Can aim to find 1. Katie actually does with the Sheriff, but Jersey in the blink of an eye with a 3K to close it out. Almost flawless from the side of Razyngan.
Beautiful job there. The time, again, we've seen these hits again and again over Ascent, and now it's leaking into Lotus. We're waiting until some of the very last few moments of the round to go for these side hits. And they had 10 seconds. They're just stressed about having to get that bomb down. They're not really focused on taking those gunfights and really isolating the kills that they should be. And if they just had a little bit more time, they would be able to play that smartly. But because they're so worried about getting these kills, what the? FPS Shadow, can we check your PC? Can we check your PC?
It's called the Head Hunter for a reason. Because it hunts for heads and it clicks heads. And vice utility being forced out here. The rinse and repeat is the name of the game for 5 guys, but 1 player advantage. Now, like you said, those clove smokes fade so fast, and that tether plus pain shells combo is going to be deadly. Kiori finishes the job with the rifle. Now, Jersey with an absolutely fantastic 3K in the previous round. Gonna need to find some magic here as a plant down as soon as the smoke fades, or even before that. Rez is actually going to take down FP Shadow on the lurk through B. Kiori is so weak. If they can find that raise, be in good position, but not going to be quite there for Razyngan. It is all onto Lava. The guiding light is good. Can you spray with a Phantom? No, you can't. It's actually going to be Katie through the box. Gets it done. 3-1. 5 guys right back on cue.
They are not afraid to bite back after losing that 3rd round. They immediately found their footing again, back on it, and now if you're Razyngan, you're back down on that lower buy. You do have that Blade Storm to work with, so you can make something happen. You're only 1 away from those Seekers, so if that is something you want to invest into this round with that Blade Storm, you could, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lava maybe holding on to that just a few more rounds to make sure nothing crazy happens. We are going to see a classic 2-1-2 split, and Caddy Kit, just, you know, maybe we should call that gun the Headhunter because that went straight to the dome. And now you're down to 4 players, but you still have the gun advantage. So this is still hard for Razyngan since you do have those weaker guns.
Yeah, you do have a couple players that would go down in 1 shot to the Outlaw, but both Katie and Chopsticks, their entire health bar, able to survive at least long enough to let their rifles talking. Now Caddy Kit goes for the jump spot. As soon as the wall goes up, they know the game's afoot. The shot goes wide, and the magic of the Marshall be replicated by either sniper rifle. Not so far. You can hunker down on sight. Classic in hand as well, should the right click be required, but it is actually over to the B site, sorry, where the pivot is going to be coming in through from 5 guys. Paranoia, catch anything in heaven. Blade Storm online for a Jersey. So good so far. Now Rest tucked away here in the corner. What can the Spectre find? 1 for sure. Can they go for more? The Showstopper is going to take them down. Kaori investing the ultimate. Goes for the trade and is favorable. Chopsticks stabs Jersey in the back, and now it's only snipers left alive. Lava and Caddy Kid in a 2 versus 2. Kiori and Chopsticks have the advantage in the weaponry. Lava needs to find the headshot. That crosser is nowhere near. Head Chopsticks, and that is going to be the closeout from 5 guys. It is not pretty, but they get the job done.
Now, I don't think they need 5 guys. They just need 2 to make sure this happens. Make sure that they are winning these rounds. 4-1 so far. Lava holding onto that guiding light just a little too long. Chopsticks just running outside of Broken, grabbing that last kill. So now we're going to go into our next gun v gun round. Caddy Kit picking up the operator with the Showstopper as well. I'm very invested in what's about to happen because this could be absolute bombshell of a round, especially with how many ultimates we have up.
Lots of ultimates online, lots of ultimates available. It is going to be an all-out brawl here on the seaside. Kaori satcheling in beyond the wall is going to be good for 2 before getting taken down by Lava. 3 players, 3 ultimates. Seeker, Showstopper, and not dead yet. A second life for the Clove. Now the spam tries to go through the wall, but that Phantom is good for the penetration.
I've got your trail.
We're going for it.
Online. For 5 guys, they're going to go for the Nightfall. 2 Seekers broken at once. Dark Matter pushing forward. Club is going to revive Caddy Kid with the boomstick. Is going to go for the repeat, but Katie is there to take them down. Yes, the Showstopper finds 1, but now it is once again all onto Lava, and they cannot get it done. Team A's, 5 guys, 5-1.
3 ultimates expended on the side of Razyngan, and they only got 1 kill to speak for it. They did not have the money to be going for that. They had that operator and they had 2 guns. I think the smart move was to save there, but instead they invested 3 ultimates and it only netted them 1 kill and a round loss. And now 5 guys, they still have 3 ultimates there. And I really think we are finding a weak spot on Zombie. Zombie has played in the same position on C right behind that box and at least 3 rounds now has gotten punished in that position, either with util or getting satcheled on. So Zombie is playing a different position here, but it does allow me a little bit of worry when you're so easily able to get deactivated like that.
And FP Shadow has been mostly losing the fight over on A, but this time changes up the positioning a little bit and takes down Patty Kit. So, one duelist gone. Side of Razyngan now. Are they going here? That wall is so deep. Once again, the Bucky cannot find any purchase. Katie, Dark Matter combined for 2. FP Shadow once more on the lurk. That Outlaw good. Now it is only Lava with a bandit in hand. Maybe some headshots could be found here. No, Kaori converts for the flawless around 6-1. Hoping to find a Brazil scoreline. Our 5 guys doing, I'd say, pretty well on the attack side of Lotus.
If we get another Brazil, this will be our 3rd Brazil of the series, which is funny because there's only been 3 maps. So we are going to see a timeout from Zen here. They really need to find something. It's not working. And I think it's the C site. The C site has been exploited again and again. And I mentioned at the beginning of the last round, Zombie has just been able, even their util, easily destroyed by 5 guys. The wall easily baited out almost every single round. And then Zombie just seems to be caught unaware every single round. So I really would love maybe a little bit more support for Zombie or maybe switching their util to another site because the C site has become a weakness for them. I would like to see a switch up from them because what they have right now, unfortunately, is just not working.
You said it right there, not quite working. We've got an operator in the hands of Patty Kit, but if you take a look at the economy, it leaves them at 0 credits, no shields, glass cannon. If FP Shadow makes even the smallest bit of contact, that raise is going to be a goner. And then you will want to save the operator, our Razyngan, instead of maybe other Vandals. So already would be a very good outlook for the round. But kitty cat, meow, the claws are out. And the shot is good. FP Shadow will see you next round. Katie, though, on the wide zing, on the wide swing, sorry, takes down Zombie now over on the A side, but still going down to the experienced Omen. Spike plant goes down oh so fast. The pace that 5 guys are imprinting over on whatever site they decide to hit is really stifling. Razyngan now down the slope we go and down into the gutter. Kaori is good for 2. Actually takes down the operator. Lava gonna finish that kill, but the trades come through. Dark Matter, Katie, Chopsticks, FP Shadow, Kaori, doesn't matter. It seems like every single round we have a 2K from the 5 guys side. The Brazil is here. That's not even what I care about anymore. Out of the timeout, Razyngan can't convert, and they are knocked down back into the eco, and they lose the operator, and they are at an ultimate disadvantage. And I can't, frankly, find any positives going for them.
And 5 guys have 4 ultimates, and they're only 1 away from the Nightfall. They have everything in their arsenal. They have the guns, they have the ultimates, and they are just shooting so much better. Oh, I take it back. It's Lava. Oh, Lava's dead. Bye, Lava.
Oh, yeah, but Jersey gets 1, so numbers advantage is over to Razyngan for what feels like the first time in forever. The question is, can they push over beyond Mound to recover those weapons? With how fast 5 guys are pushing onto the A site, the comms should come through from Zombie. Those weapons are recoverable, and indeed, Patty Kid is going to get a Phantom into their hands. Zombie whiffing, and that's not what you want to see with a Sheriff in hand. Rest and Catty Kid trying to flank here. The trademark, though, discovers them. Stinger is going to be upgraded, so it's a Marshall and 2 rifles against these snipers. And FP Shadow gets the flick and gets the outlaw ringing as well. Orcus would be proud. Just rest, last alive. You might want to save this rifle, your clove, or you might as well give in to the clips. Never mind, FP Shadow can't farm it. It is going to be Dark Matter claiming it in the end. 8-1. 5 guys really not lifting their foot off the gas pedal. Ascent, Lotus, they're blending into one for me.
Yep, every single map has been the exact same storyline. One team just running away with it in the first half. The only difference is split. The second half, we really saw a comeback. Ascent, we didn't see a comeback on all. So Lotus, what are we going to be seeing? Are we going to be seeing a comeback yet? Or are we going to be seeing a little bit of a stomp again? We do have that Vice ultimate available. You are able to kind of equalize the guns, but not a lot you can do, especially when you're getting stomped on like this so badly.
You're going to need to find something at some point. Maybe it's a Steel Garden from Zombie. Maybe it's Seekers that are just one way from lava. Capitalize on the fact that Viper Spit was invested previously, as well as the Tour de Force. So those are 2 big ultimates gone from the side of 5 guys. But again, you're still a Showstopper and a Nightfall. So good to hit those sides now. The Razorvine Thorns are activated over here. The Lava Soul Survivor, Soul Defender. Yes, it would be a 3-man push with the Spike. Stride now opening the tree door and throwing up the Nightfall, not dodged by Lava. There is also an Omen TPing all the way into heaven. So presence is confirmed. The Showstopper whizzes by the head of Lava. This is very heavy investment from 5 guys. If they get the round win, maybe it will be worth it, but it feels like a little bit of overkill. Now the Steel Garden is thrown out. Such powerful retake ultimate. Caddy Kid takes down their raised counterpart, but Katie is here, avoided. That deadly ultimate still has their primary weapon on, like Dark Matter as well. Good for the 1-tap, good for the spray, good for the 3rd, and that does it. Dark Matter coming to the rescue. 9-1 for 5 guys.
Dark Matter has been so good on this map. I believe 12-1 so far, completely unstoppable. The way they were able to isolate those 1v1s in that fight was beautiful, and I think a little bit of a detriment to Razyngan. They weren't using their utility to really take Dark Matter off that angle or to really block that angle off while they peeked that, and they also peeked it 1 by 1 each time falling. So they do have the Seekers available, only ult left in the round. Might see that come out here, but again, they're going towards Zombie. Zombie's sight hold been a little bit weak so far. Let's see if they can change that this round.
Trying to find a miracle. Sheer Wall has been triggered. Maybe moving a little farther back could be a to not allow that fast trigger that has been biting them many rounds in a row. Not the best weaponry, but also not terrible. You've got Sheriff in the hands of Zombie, a Bucky here at close range, and a Spectre from Rez, as well as the 2 Phantoms, Jersey and Lava. Now the Paranoia is going to be good for it, as well as the Prowler and the Paint Shells. Presence has been detected. Kaori takes down Zombie with an absolute barrage of utility. You can see it over there on the kill feed. Rez is good for 1, has that ultimate online now, and Showstopper, crucially, from Caddy Kid is only 1 away. If they can find something with this Bucky, with a pistol, could have great tool in hand for the retake. Now the question is, will these ultimates be invested? Time is ticking low, and there are still a lot of members alive from the side of 5 guys. It seems like Razyngan do want to go for it, and Rez gets 1 immediately traded. Not dead yet, is going to be activated, but instantly all the members of Razyngan go down 10-1 for 5 guys trying to emulate that split scoreline.
Are we about to see an 11-1 for all 3 maps? Oh, I guess it was 10-2 last
Well, not
night.
for all 3, because Ascend was a 10-2.
It was 10-2. I'm a little
No,
speechless.
double digits guaranteed
Yes.
at the half for either team on all 3 maps. That's still crazy.
That is crazy. And what was our win condition? Our win condition was that Razyngan needed to win 5 rounds on this defensive half. And now we're looking at maybe 2, maybe 1. Oh, beautiful shot from Caddy Kit. This could be the round that could take them to 2. This could be the much needed round. They still have the Seekers. They still have the Showstopper. They can do this. Gotta get their head in the game.
At this point, you will take whatever you can find. Jersey also 1 away from the Blade Storm. An important tool in the back pocket. Dark Matter, not Dark Market. Good golly, this Molly gonna take down Rez. Now Lava with the Guardian is not gonna be good enough. The automatic rifles are just that tiny bit stronger. The Odin taken down instantly. Jersey left onto the clutch as those blades that we were talking about as the plant goes down over on the A side. Jet needs to hurry. Time of the essence, and time is the one thing that Jersey doesn't have. Has to clear all these quarters, all these cubbies. Dark Matter even has the Nightfall. As soon as they hear this Jet, they can just throw it out, and indeed they do. It goes wide though, it misses, but Kaori is so aware of this position. Surely they've heard the drop, now they know, and they close it out. 11-1. We started the series on Split with this scoreline, and we might as well close it out on Lotus with a similar performance. 5 guys, Imperial in the attack side.
The definition of dominance, if you looked it up in your dictionary, it would say 5 guys in Empress Valorant Season 1. Look it up. I'm telling you, look it up in your dictionary right now. That is exactly what you would find. These last 2 maps has been nothing but dominance from 5 guys. If you're Razyngan, your mental is in the gutter right now. You need something. You need this pistol round to bring you out. If you don't win this pistol round, you're looking at 11 rounds in a row. And I'm not sure I can see that happening.
Weirder things happen. For a second, we thought there might be a comeback in the books all the way back on Split, but not Dark Matter. Already got numbers advantage. Gonna be equalized. Gonna be taken down. Actually, Lava and Jersey combined for 3. Now FP Shadow and Chopsticks, the last 2 alive. Clutch, a 2 versus 4. These are double in number, but the numbers, the scoreboard favor 5 guys. They can afford to lose the pistol, even the anti-eco, as long as they get their rifles to ring true. 3rd round of the half, and that is the most likely scenario unless FP Shadow can go absolutely insane. He cannot. That is going to be the 2nd online for Razyngan. You'd have to imagine the 3rd one here as well.
This was a much needed round if they want to start a comeback back into this game. If they had lost that round, it would be done and dusted. 11 rounds in a row is just too much to come back to. But now they're able to buy these guns, and if they can keep this momentum going, they have a chance here. They have a chance here. They just can't let it get in their heads, and they need to keep this momentum going.
Crucial thing, they need a quasi-flawless or a fully flawless round here, because like that rifle round, that 3rd round of the half is going to be so important. FP Shadow whiffs the 1st one, has to TP out. 2nd will tag onto him. Has this headhunter to play with, as well as the always reliable classic right click is way stronger at close range than you would think. Got the explorations all the way over on C from Caddy Kit. That some form of rotation has been called. Now we see it speed up all the way through attacker spawn. Our Razyngan explosive race into the site. Not with the performance we're used to seeing from them, but of course they have the formidable number 1 seed. 5 guys on the other side. And even though they've gone to 3, even though they went to 3 in the previous round of the playoffs, we are seeing the reason why they are so strong. Dark Matter is going to be good for a little bit of a body block, unfortunately. Jersey now Spectres and the Vandals and the Spectres again are going to be good for the kill. Some on the flank. FP Shadow actually gets a one-on-one. Only 18 HP, but Jersey is also, oh, so very low. A right click will do it. Now the Vandal
No way.
covered. Slow walk up, and there it is! FP Shadow, the Thorn in the side, the 3K on the round. Map, match, series, upper bracket finals point obtained in the clutch from Five Guys.
Remember, we're playing to go to grand finals here, so even if Razyngan lose this, they still have the lower finals to claw their way back into it, which is, they definitely have the capacity to, but you know, we talked about at the very beginning of these matchups how close these maps were going to be, and I think we were just proven wrong from the second we started. Each half has been so dominant by one team or the other. Now we're going to see fight out towards A. FP Shadow immediately takes out Jersey. And now when you're already on match point, to have one of your players taken out so brutally, it's now just up to Lava. Will he let it burn?
That player is quenched, and Five Guys claim their spot in the grand finals. EMPRESS Season 1 playoffs, deservedly so. 13-2 once again. Back-to-back 13-2s. I dare say, like you said earlier, that is the definition of dominance. Maybe a slow start to the series, but they grew into it, and nobody can take that away from them. They have their top 2 spot guaranteed. They will have map pick / veto advantage come grand finals time. I think they can be proud of what they have achieved so far, and of what they have the potential to achieve especially.
Razyngan are a great team. They would not be the number 2 seed if they were not. And I think today was maybe a little bit of an off day for them, because they have been so good in this tournament, barely dropping any maps, and I think today was just not their day. So as they head into the lower bracket, they will be fighting either Guru or Glorp Academy. Oh, my bad. We'll be Infinite Zero or Glorp.
We'll see that updated bracket in a second. But first, let's take a look at the stats from this map. We've got, again, first kill advantage going over to Five Guys, as well as that thrifty clutch. Of course, we know that the clutch is actually broken, and 12 out of 13 post plants. They were so good on the offense, and as well getting it done on the defensive side. I mean, you said it better, Mint. It was simply domination on those last 2 maps. 26-4 was the combined scoreline from Razyngan. They will take a good look back at this one and say, hey, we need to change some things, changes, if we want to get back to the grand finals. Because, don't get me wrong, yes, they got trounced, but if you take a look at how they started on Split, it was very good. They definitely have the potential to do it. Now, will they be able to do so? They only have 1 life left, but they're only also 1 step away, right? That's a good thing. You get to the winners finals. Yes, you'll lose it, but then you only have to win 1 more game to get back up in grand finals. We see some stats here individually. Pretty much every player on the side of Five Guys getting double digits. I think it was a great team performance all around. Dark Matter, especially strong on this fade in Lotus. I think that is one of the constants of life, right? I think every single time that we go over to Lotus, Dark Matter has an absolutely lights out performance. On the other side, unfortunately, we did not get to see any really purchase from Zombie or from Catty Kid as well after that big start from the series. For Razyngan, though, they're going to have to turn a page. This is done. It's over. Yes, they can VOD review, but it has to be only clinical from this point onward. They cannot look back at the series with any sort of emotion. What happened, happened. What's done is done. Just time to learn from their mistakes. And honestly, I think they will most certainly be able to.
Of course, they've been so resilient this whole split, and I do not think that they should let this 1 loss in the upper bracket finals really determine the rest of their season. I think that as they go into this next matchup against Glorp and Infinite Zero, they still have so much potential and they can put their heart on the line and they have the potential to give us a great matchup again. So I don't think they should let this matchup define them. Just an amazing job from Five Guys there. This is my first time being able to cast one of their matches, and it was absolute cinema. It was amazing the way they were able just to control the map, how they were able to use their util off of each other, how they peeked off of each other. And with that being said, Kaori is actually our MVP for this series. Yeah, round of applause. They did such a great job. Very needed. And now we have our
very
W
well
delivery.
deserved. Especially off of those first couple of maps. Maybe the third one was a little bit of the dark matter takeover, but honestly, it's also one of those other constants that we know in live. Kaori with an absolute pop-off. Speaking of which, we've got them right here in the call. Our W delivery post-match MVP. How are you doing, Kaori? How does that W feel? How does it feel to be in the grand finals?
It feels very good. I'm feeling very hyped for the grand finals. The W feels very good too.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling to have when you're feeling hyped going in because you deserved it. The dominance your team showed today, amazing. Great job to you. My biggest question for you is that first map, an 11-1 scoreline on split, and yet you guys were able to bring it to 9-12. How were you feeling when you were going into that second half knowing that you were so far down?
Well, every game is winnable. You just kind of have to go into every round thinking it's winnable. Once you get the momentum rolling, it just skyrockets.
Very much seem to do so. Yeah, I mean, what I think the going beyond split, that was your own map pick, and I want to kind of get into the pick and stealing especially the opponent's map pick. What happened over in Ascent? Because last time we saw you guys, actually I was here casting as well, you went down to Glorp Academy, and yet you showed us a completely new side of yourselves today on Ascent. What changed from the previous round to today?
Okay, so like we got into playoffs, Ascent got introduced into the map pool, and we weren't really ready for it. So we just threw it together a comp, and it didn't really mesh well, and we just lost it. We lost it both times actually, because we played it in both series. So when we got that week break, we decided to lab Ascent heavily, and that's how we landed on this Waylay Yoru comp. And we feel a lot more comfortable on it.
We were both
very
surprised you guys picked the Yoru. I think, did you take your glasses off? Yes, you did. I think you took your glasses off after that Yoru pick.
Oh wait, when the Yoru, yeah, no, okay. So Kaori, you will be able to see it back in the VOD. Yes, Minstick is absolutely right. I was so flabbergasted by the Yoru pick that I was completely silent for maybe 3 minutes straight or something like that. Where did that pick come from?
So yes, we know Yoru got nerfed, but our coach he advocated for Yoru still being a very viable pick. Yes, you can't do the same things that you were once able to do on Yoru, but playing Yoru, we have a very good Yoru player, so it just kind of works a little bit better. And yes, Yoru should be with he would be playing with the op, and he did not. But I got the off. Don't worry.
Don't give away all your secrets.
With
Well, I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
Now that you're headed into grand finals, what is your strategy going into this grand finals matchup?
Get back get back into the lab, work on our maps, improve everything that needs to be improved. Keep a good headspace. Work well together. Communicate. That's all we need to do.
That sounds like an absolute banger of a plan. Kaori, before you go, I want to give you the floor. If you want to give a shout out, you already kind of mentioned your coaches, your teammates, anything that you want to say. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, it's really just my teammates, my coach. They believe in me for me to get entry, to make the space for them to do their best. So yeah.
That was an absolutely great performance from you, Kaori. Thank you so much for being with us here today. You were the MVP, and I think very, very well earned with that comeback. Now, Mint, we have our first grand finalist set in stone. That is going to be 5 guys, 3 potential remaining opponents: Infinite Zero, Glorb, and Razyngan, whom just saw. 3 very good teams have definitely earned their spots in the. Who do you think will join 5 guys in those grand finals? Because I mentioned it earlier, last time we were on air, both thought Chains and myself that 5 guys Razyngan would be the grand finals. We already have half of that confirmed. Do you think it's still what we're going to see, or do you think maybe a dark horse from those 6, 7, Infinite Zero and Glorb could get all the way to the end?
You say 6, 7?
No, those are the seeds at the end of the day.
I actually been very impressed with Infinite Zero's run so far in the bracket. So love to see them come out on top. But as they fare against Razyngan, I think all the 3 teams we have, it's so hard to pick one. You have to be the unbiased caster. Out of all those 3 teams, I could see it going any way. We do have them going against the number 2 seed. And I mean, statistically saying, the number 2 seed usually beats out all the other lower seeds. You see it every year in March Madness. But I wouldn't count the lower guys out, because they have been absolutely amazing. They've shown up, they've shown out, they've beat the higher seeds before. And I think we might be in for a treat.
I was going to say, taking a look at this bracket, I can see no fewer than, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upsets so far based on seeding alone. Now, a lot of these teams finished with the exact same record of 4 and 3 in the group stage, and were only differentiated in terms of seeding by, I believe it was the number of maps they won, the exact map counts, round counts, etc., etc. Those teensy-weensy little tiebreakers. So maybe you wouldn't consider an upset from 1, 4, and 3 other one. But in terms of the seed, those things have happened. Glorb definitely have a chance to do so again in that lower bracket semifinals, taking down Razyngan, though that will be maybe a bit more of a David versus Goliath situation. That being said, Mint, I think that is going to be it from us for today. I think we were very, very lucky with those 3 maps that we got. And before we close it out, I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit. What would you say is one maybe standout moment or one takeaway from each of these maps? One from Split, one from Ascent, one from Lotus, aside from the scorelines, because those are very glaring.
Oh,
the 11-1, the 13-2, the 13-2 again. Let's think about other moments.
But I lost him. He's gone.
Oh yeah, I guess my camera's gone now. Well, you can still hear me, so you tell me. You tell me.
Where'd he go? That first map, the standout moment for me was 80's kill on the caddy kit. While they were show-stopping in the air, the headshot to win the round. That's my number 1 from Split. My number 1 from Ascent is the ace to close out the series. It had just been a dominant map. And then the ace, it was just the cherry on top. And then finally, as we went into Lotus, I don't even know if I have a standout moment from Lotus. It just all blurred together in a fashion of five guys were just so dominant. But that 3K from Dark Matter, that was really good. But guys, we will be back here on Saturday. I know my days of the week. I passed
Saturday.
kindergarten. I passed kindergarten.
Well, technically both days. We will be here. We'll be
But the
here
next
on
one's on
Saturday and Sunday. Our next match indeed will be on Saturday. We've got 2 games, our lower bracket semifinal and our lower bracket finals back to back on Saturday, and then the grand final on Sunday night. You do not want to miss it. I know Mint is very, very excited for it. I am as well. But for now, that's going to be it from us for tonight. Again, on behalf of everyone on the backside of Empress, everyone who works make this possible, thank you so much. Thank you, to our viewers. You are the reason why we can do what we love. Thank you so much as well to our production team, of course, an absolutely amazing job today. Thank you so much for joining me and making this 3-map experience so enjoyable. My name is Alligator. I've got Minstick by me and the entire Empress team behind. We will see you on Saturday for the epic conclusion of the Season 1 playoffs. You do not want to miss it. Be there or be square, or I guess just piss off.
Dad?
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Bye-bye!